is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Hope, and today's video is going to be the start of my spooky season video. I know that I posted the skeleton makeup, but I guess that's also spooky season, but this is official start. But first, I need to change something up. There is just goats on the side of the road. Why are they there? Okay, so I'm gonna take this off because, like, it's a little bit distracting, you know. I also bought this to wear, but it didn't even light up. Screw you, Walmart. Want a refund. So, my first video for spooky season is going to be a video about some of my paranormal experiences. I say some because they're not all going to fit into one. And, the last time I tried filming this, it was last year actually, every time I would go to try filming it, the audio would cut out or be super staticky or weird. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna start from my very first experience that I remember and work my way up, and we'll see. If you guys didn't know, it's like supposedly a thing where being able to like experience stuff with the paranormal is genetic. So like if you can experience stuff with paranormal, there's a good chance one of your parents have. For me personally, it was my dad who had experiences. The night his father died, he was sleeping in his father's chair and was woken up to his father tapping him on the shoulder, but at that time he had already passed. So that was just one of the experiences, but my mom never had any experiences. I still don't think she fully believes it or believes me whenever I tell her any of this stuff, but I know that some of you have had experiences, so I know that I have people I can relate to who watch my videos. So, the very first thing that I ever remember, I was probably, I want to say, like 6 years old, around that. We were living at, like, my old house, and I had a toy box in the corner of my room. And I would put my basketball on top of it, and like the way the toy box was, like this was like the top of it, and I had it right up against my wall, so like the basketball would sit in the corner of it, so like it wouldn't roll off or anything. So one night I was woken up to the sound of it bouncing in the middle of my room, and I didn't really think much of it. I was like, oh okay, like it probably just rolled off, that's fine. So I roll over because I was going to get up and put it back. I roll over and I look at it, and it's like someone is literally standing in the middle of my room bouncing the ball, like dribbling it. And the second I turned over and I like saw it happen for like a good 3 seconds, I remember watching it happen. It stopped. The ball just stopped in the middle of the floor, and then I saw a shadow walk out of my room. I was horrified. But I was also so young that I didn't know exactly what it was or anything, so I didn't scream. I couldn't scream or anything, so I just laid there. And I want to say that I didn't sleep for the rest of the night, but I'm not really sure. But that was the first experience I ever remember. In that house, there was a lot of very weird experiences, and most of these stories are experiences from while I was living there. So we're pretty sure that it was a little girl and an older woman who were in that house, and I don't want to say haunted that house, but haunted that house. We called the older woman Catherine. We never gave the younger child a name, but we are pretty sure that the child was a nice spirit, and then the older woman was a not so nice spirit. One of the most terrifying moments of my life, and something that I will never ever forget, there's two things, they kind of play into each other. So my sister's room was what we considered the most haunted room. Every time I would go in there, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I would feel like I would have to leave right away. Like I just didn't get a good feeling in there at all. There was 2 nights where the one night we were sitting in there, it was me and my 2 friends, and we decided to record on our phones, like just the voice audio, record on our phones and ask questions and see if we got a response. As we were talking, my friend Mackenzie goes, and I don't believe it until I see or hear it. And right after she says it, like directly after, not even a second after, we heard another voice on the recording. We didn't hear it like as it happened, we heard it as we played it back. I am not going to tell you guys what it says. I am just going to insert the clip, and I want to know if you guys can hear what we heard, because I don't want to like make you have a prejudgment of it and like have you know what it's saying, so then you definitely hear it, you know what I mean? So if you guys hear anything, some people don't hear anything, but if you hear what it says, comment what you think it says.
Till we see or hear we.
But we instantly got out of the room. I had never ran so fast in my life. I was absolutely horrified. I think that's the most scared I've ever been. And then another thing that really stands out was also in that room. The one night, it was again, my friends and I were sitting in there kind of asking questions and stuff. And I like blacked out for I don't know how long. But I guess that I started absolutely bawling my eyes out. And all I remember before I blacked out was seeing a figure in front of me of an older woman dressed in kind of like old-fashioned clothes, like one of those like big gowns like that have the super poofy skirt. It was purple and white. She had brown hair. She was extremely pale, but she was like right up here in my face. And then I blacked out, and I guess that whenever I blacked out, I was bawling my eyes out. And then I came to, could feel the tears running down my face and everything, but had absolutely no idea what just happened. Still have no explanation for that at all. Another thing that happened in that house was I would wake up with scratches all over me, and mind you, I don't have nails. I bite my nails. I've always been a nail biter. I constantly do that. So I can't scratch myself. Like, as hard as I try, I cannot scratch myself. And I never let my cats sleep with me because I have the fear of rolling over and crushing them if they're sleeping with me. So there was no chance of my cats scratching me at all either. So I would wake up with random scratches on my back. Like, most of the time it was 3 scratches down my back. And I remember the one day in gym class, whenever we were all changing into our gym clothes, I go to change my shirt, and my friend Bailey looks at me and goes, "Hope, what's on your back?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Go look at your back in the mirror." So I go and look at my back, and it says hi. Very clearly, H-I. I don't know if that was just like a weird coincidence or if that actually was something. But again, I was absolutely horrified, didn't know what to do with myself, panicked a lot after that. And then another experience with the not so nice spirit. I was sitting there the one night, I was completely by myself. And mind you, I was by myself a lot. My mom was always, like, not always, but my mom would go out with her friends on the weekend, which was fine. I was old enough to take care of myself and be by myself. That wasn't an issue. But I did get freaked out in the house, so like it was kind of scary at times, but you know, it was fine. Well, I was sitting there by myself one night, and I was watching Ghost Adventures, ironically enough. And of course, people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, you can like make yourself see and hear stuff and all of that." Yes, that is very true. Like, if you're in a certain situation, you can make yourself paranoid and make yourself hear or see things that aren't actually there. This, there's literally no explanation for. I was sitting there, and as I'm watching Ghost Adventures, they say something like, "Give me a sign," or something along the lines of that. And at that moment, my hair gets pulled. And it wasn't just like a little like tug like this. It was like a giant thing like grabbed my hair, like this and yanked my head to the side. It wasn't some like gentle like little tug where like my hair could have got stuck in my shirt or stuck in the couch or whatever excuse someone wants to make. No, it was full on chunk of my hair and my head yanked to the side. I made my mom come home that night. I refused to be by myself. I refused to be by myself any night after that. Those are the main experiences with the not so nice spirit that I remember at the moment. I'm sure that I'll remember some more as we continue. But now for the little girl. So with her, she was always like the like funny trickster one, and she would move stuff a lot. Like a lot of my stuff would go missing. A lot of my toys would go missing. I would have no idea where they went, and then like months and months down the road, I would find them in the basement. I was absolutely horrified over the basement. I would refuse to go down there. We had our cat food down, like our cat's food bowls down there. Whenever I would have to feed them in the morning, I would literally freaking Usain Bolt down those stairs and back up, like freaking set a world record of how fast that I moved because I was so scared of being in the basement. But one of the moments that really, really stood out to me with her was me and my friend were sitting there the one night, and we weren't even watching any ghost shows or anything like that. We were just sitting there talking probably. I don't remember exactly. But she looks over, and the way that my living room was set up, the living room, the dining room, and then the kitchen, and then there was like a staircase leading upstairs in the middle of all of that. And like through the staircase, you could see into the kitchen. Well, we were sitting there, and my friend looked over and like kind of looked into the kitchen and instantly started flipping out, like screaming, crying, flipping out. So I asked her, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, tell me what's wrong. Are you okay? Like, what's happening? And she said that she saw a little girl standing in my kitchen. Obviously we went and like looked and everything, and there was no one there. It was just me and her in the house. She described to me in complete detail what the little girl looked like. She was wearing a blue and white dress, had brown short hair, was very pale skinned with brown eyes. Well, the next weekend, my friend sleeps over, not the same friend, a different friend, and these two friends didn't talk. Keep that in mind. And there was a lot of us that night, so two of them slept in what we consider the most haunted room. And whenever she woke up in the morning, she told me about a dream that she had about a little girl, and the little girl being in my house. So I told her to describe to me what the little girl looked like, and she described to me exactly what my friend saw in the kitchen. That was very odd and creepy. Like I said, the two friends did not talk, so there was no way of them like communicating that to each other. There was a lot of like unexplained things that would happen also. I remember one night me and my friend were sitting on the floor and we were playing Wii, and in between us there was like a little bit of space, and there was just the loudest boom, and it felt like someone stood in between us and just jumped down right in between us. Like the whole floor shook. Me and her looked at each other and like had a heart attack. There would be nights whenever all of the water, like the sinks in every bathroom in the kitchen, because we had a bathroom upstairs, a bathroom downstairs, and then our kitchen downstairs, and every sink would turn on at the same time. Also, I have experiences with my grandma who passed. She's actually the one I have the tattoo for, my very first tattoo for. She would always whistle. Like, that was her thing. That was what everyone remembers her by and everything. Like, she would always whistle. So there would be moments whenever I would just be sitting there home alone and I would hear whistling. And I know that it was my grandma and not some malevolent spirit, because I felt safe. If it's a bad spirit, I can sense it. I have that feeling. I have that gut feeling. I just know. So I knew that it was my grandma, and every time that she was there, I felt so safe. And also, she does visit me in dreams. That is also a thing. If a loved one who has passed visits you, like if you have a dream about them, that is them visiting you most of the time. So please, like, keep that in mind, because if you guys have a dream about a loved one who passed, and like it doesn't make sense, think about what's going on in your life at the time, and they might be visiting you to try to help you. But now on a more recent stuff, in this house specifically, this just happened probably, I think, 2 weeks ago. The one day I got home and my room smelled like straight up garbage. Like, I had food in here that I left in here for months, which I didn't. I searched my whole entire room, looked through everything to make sure that, like, I didn't have food anywhere that was, like, rotting or something, because it smelled that bad. There was absolutely nothing anywhere. So I was like, okay, maybe it's the trash outside, because I'm on the upstairs floor, but the trash is outside. Like, we keep it, like, kind of below my window, and it sometimes does make my room smell a little bit, and then it's gone after a couple hours, though. So I waited. I come home the next day from work, and it still reeks, and if not worse. So I still can't figure out what it is. And then the next morning, I open up my closet door, and I go to walk in, and I see one of my shoes laying in the middle of my closet, just completely filled with water, like gross, nasty water. It looks like it has hair in it. It is absolutely disgusting. And right as I open up my closet door, I got hit with that gross smell. I start panicking. I'm like, okay, there's a leak somewhere in my closet. Let me look. And it had, like, was raining for days and days and days before that. And it was raining that day also. So I'm looking for a leak everywhere, like feeling my walls to feel if there's moisture anywhere. There's nothing. And then I feel my clothes, my shirts that are hanging up. And my shirts are wet, but my shoe was on this side of the closet. Like, here's the closet, my shoe was on this side, more on this side. It'll make sense. My shirts are hanging up on this side. The side of my shirts closest to the wall, so farthest away from my shoe, were drenched, but the other side of my shirts weren't. So that doesn't make sense, because if it was a leak coming straight down, which it had to have been because my shoe was filled with water, so obviously it wasn't spraying up from the side of my wall or something, then the shirts should have been wet on that side also, right? Yeah, but they were wet on the opposite side of my shoe. I still have absolutely no idea what happened. I looked it up, and spirits do communicate with water, I guess, sometimes. But the scariest thing about that is that since we moved into this place, the upstairs bathroom has always scared me. If I'm home alone, I have to have the bathroom door shut and this hallway light on. And the second that, and if I don't have the bathroom door shut, the second that one of my feet touch the top step, like to walk into the hallway, I instantly get a bad feeling and instantly feel like someone is staring at me. I don't know if anyone else has that, like, where if someone is looking at you, you can just, like, sense it. But I genuinely have that. Like, if someone out in public is staring at me, I'll look over and they're actually staring at me. So every time I come up into the hallway, if the bathroom door is open and I'm home by myself, I get that feeling. But if my mom is here or if someone else is here, for some reason I don't. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, that's just your mind playing tricks on you. No, trust me, this isn't a feeling that, like, I just randomly get or whatever. I only get this feeling whenever someone is watching me. So that's horrifying enough. But the, like, thing that brings all of this together is that my closet leads into the bathroom. There is, like, a cubby hole in the back of my closet that leads directly into the bathroom. So I don't know what all of this means. No one has ever died here or anything. I don't know if that's, like, it's a spirit following me. I have no clue. But it is absolutely horrifying. And another thing that happened here, this was last year. It was before VidCon last year, because I'd actually talked to Corey about this. I come home one day, I take my clothes, and I put them in a certain spot, like, by my bed. And I put them there because I was like, okay, whenever I open up my door, they're going to be right there, so I'm going to remember to put them away. I put them in front of my bed. I go downstairs. I'm just hanging out downstairs doing whatever I was doing. I come back up later and my clothes are on my bed. I know for a fact I didn't put them there. I flipped out. I was home alone again. I flipped out. I called my mom and I made her come home because I was so freaked out. We literally had my mom's boyfriend search the house to make sure that there was no one here because I was so scared. I was so freaked out because, like, I 110% know that I had the clothes on the ground and not on my bed. So I still don't know how that happened. If I continue, this video is going to be freaking 2 hours long. So I am going to stop it here. If you guys want a part 2 of this, where I tell the rest of my experiences and I tell you guys about probably the most horrifying thing that I've ever experienced in my life, which was going to Hillview Manor with the radio station in Pittsburgh. Let me know in the comments below. I will make a video about that if you guys want to see that. I'm hopefully going to be going back there to film a video, but we will see. I'm trying to get Sam and Colby and all of them to come. I know that's so far-fetched, but that would be awesome. I want to do a live stream of the whole entire thing, so there's no editing, there's no faking anything. It is 100% completely raw, and I can guarantee that this place is haunted. I have experienced it for myself. But yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see in the comments below. I'm going to be doing spooky videos all of October, so anything that you guys want to see, if you guys want to see different makeups again, you want me to go to haunted places, I will try my best to do so, but a lot of them do cost money, so like, if you want to help a girl out, go buy my merch, that's in the description below. Yeah, but that is it for this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, turn on my post notifications so you never miss a post, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
This is Halloween, pumpkin scream.